Hello, boys and girls. Here we are again, and we're going to start with Chapter 4 today of Here We All Are by Tomie dePaola. Chapter 4. I wish that school with Miss Emick could be like school with Miss Leah. I had started dancing school in September, and I loved it. My mom had taken me there the year before when I was 4, but it hadn't worked out. "What kind of dancing do you like to do?" Miss Leah had asked. "Tap dancing, like Shirley Temple," I answered. "How old are you?" "I just turned 4, and here he is with his tap dancing teacher, Miss Leah. "Well, I usually have children wait until they're 5 before they take tap," Miss Leah said, "but let's see what you can do." I stood there waiting. "Don't be shy," Miss Leah said. "Oh, he's not," Mom told her. "Go on, Tommy. Show Miss Leah what you can do." "I will when the music starts," I said. "I can't dance without music." "That's it," Mom said. "I think maybe we should wait until next year. It'll be better for everyone." So Mom had taken me back in September when I was 5. This time there were a lot of girls in the dance studio, too. Miss Leah had lined us all up. She was wearing a short, swirly skirt and a blouse tied in a knot at her waist. Her shiny black hair was pulled back with a scarf, and she had on glittery silver tap shoes. She looked just like someone from the movies. "Tommy, come and stand in the middle," Miss Leah said. "Face the mirrors, everyone, and watch what I am doing. Up, back, down, up, back, down, slap, slap, up, back, down." I couldn't keep my eyes off Miss Leah's silver tap shoes. Mine were black patent leather. The metal taps were on the toes and heels on the bottom of the shoes. "All right, class, now you try it." We all went up, back, down, slap, slap, up, back, down. "Very good," Miss Leah said. "Now let's try it with music." A lady named Mrs. Anderson sat down at the piano. She began to play. Well, it was like the music told me just what to do. I loved it. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. I'd go to Miss Leah's every Saturday. Another little boy joined the class. His name was Joey. We learned all kinds of steps, time steps, shuffle off to Buffalo, and things like that. At our first class after the Christmas vacation, Miss Leah said, "Class, I am going to begin to teach you the dance number you will do at the recital at the end of the dancing school year. It will be a military tap number." "What's a recital?" I asked my mom on the way home. "That's a whole show of all the children doing different things. Everyone wears costumes. There's scenery and lights, just like the movies," she answered. Wow, I thought, just like the movies. I learned the steps quickly. Every week Miss Leah taught us new ones. We added those to the ones we had learned before. Soon we would have the whole dance number learned. The mothers all had little notebooks, and they wrote down the new steps. My mom read the steps to me every night while I practiced. I was getting very good. One Saturday in February, Miss Leah taught us the drum roll. It sounded just like a rat-a-tat-tat of a drum. The class was having a hard time getting it just right. I knew I could get it, so I closed my eyes and just listened to the sound of the taps. Miss Leah made with her silver tap shoes, and bingo, I got it. I could tell Miss Leah was very pleased. After class, Miss Leah asked Mom and me if we would wait a minute and talk to her. "You know, Mrs. dePaola, Tommy is doing so well that I'd like to give him something special to do in the recital. I can't give him a solo in the military number because that number is for the whole class to perform. But I'm going to have a section of Mother Goose characters, and I'd like Tomie to do the farmer in the dell, with Joan Ciotti as the farmer's wife and Tomie as the farmer. I even have ideas for the costumes. What do you think?" Mom looked at me. I held my breath. "Well, Tomie, it's up to you." "Up to me? Are you kidding? Just me and Joan Ciotti? Yes, yes, yes." After all, Joan Ciotti was a second-year student, and she even took private lessons. It will mean spending a little extra time here on Saturdays. That was fine with me. The more dancing, the better. After class the next Saturday, Mom and I stayed because Joan Ciotti and I were going to have our first practice together. Joan was a very good dancer, and she told me that she was going to be a dancer when she grew up. She was very serious about it, just like me. Then I couldn't believe it. Miss Leah told me something else. "Tomie, because you have such a good voice, I want you to sing a song in the recital, too." I'm not sure which song yet, but we'll talk about that next week. Now, let's get started on the farmer in the dell. I want you and Joan to try a few things. I wasn't dancing with Shirley Temple, but Joan Ciotti would do just fine. I was on my way to becoming a star, singing and dancing on the stage. Chapter 5. Our kindergarten class was going to put on a play for the whole school. We were going to do Peter Rabbit. I had played the part of John Alden, the Pilgrim, in the Thanksgiving play we did in the first grade. I didn't forget any of my lines or anything. The way Miss Emmick smiled at me when she said Peter Rabbit made me sure that she was going to pick me to play Peter. I knew the story so well, and besides, Miss Leah said I had natural stage presence. As much as I loved being on stage, my best friend Jeannie didn't. She was shy and very tall for her age, so I decided that Jeannie should play the part of the mouse, who mumbles because she has peas in her mouth when Peter asks for directions out of Mr. McGregor's garden. She wouldn't have to remember any lines, just mumble. I showed her how to puff out her cheeks and say, "Mumble, mumble, 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 mumble." Every day on the way home we practiced. Finally, the day for giving out the parts arrived. "All right, boys and girls, let's bring our chairs into a circle." We each had a little colored chair with our names on a cardboard tag tied to the back, just like the nap mats. Jeannie sat down next to me. I could tell she was nervous. I leaned over very quietly and whispered, "Now, when Miss Emmick asks who would like to play the mouse, raise your hand and show how you can mumble, and don't forget." "Tomie, there you go, talking again. Won't you ever learn? Since you can't pay attention, you will not play Peter Rabbit. Peter will be played by Johnny Gregory. You will be Flopsy." "But Flopsy is a girl," I protested. "Not in our play," Miss Emmick said. "Now, boys and girls, I will read you the story." Well, I was certainly disappointed. I would be Flopsy, along with Nancy Kiphut and Carolyn Kamens as Mopsy and Cottontail. We had to make our own rabbit ears and wear little red capes made out of stretchy crepe paper. At dancing school, Miss Leah had told us how to act on stage. When someone is talking or singing or dancing, be sure to look at them and react. That's one of the most important things to do when you are on stage. That's what I do. Flopsy would react to everything that was going on with Peter. But I'd wait until the real performance and not do anything when we were just practicing. It would be a surprise. So, in front of the whole school, the students from all the grades, the teachers, Miss Burke, the principal, Miss Philomena, the school secretary, Miss Luby, the nurse, and Mr. Walters, the school janitor, and our parents, Flopsy reacted. When Peter went into Mr. McGregor's garden and he wasn't supposed to, I clasped my hands and shook. Every time Peter did something, I did something too. I waved my arms around. I covered my eyes. I put my hands over my ears. I opened my mouth wide in surprise. I could hear the audience laughing. The grown-ups even clapped a couple times. When it was over, Flopsy had stolen the show. Jean Miner was great as Mrs. Rabbit. Jack Rule was scary as Mr. McGregor. Jeannie was wonderful as the mumbling mouse with peas in her mouth. Johnny Gregory was okay as Peter, but I was the hit of the play. Miss Mulligan, the 5th grade teacher who played the piano at our auditorium shows, came up to me and said, "Well, Tommy, you certainly know how to steal the show. You are a real ham." I looked over at my mom. She waved. How proud she must be, I thought. Miss Emick didn't say much except, "Boys and girls, you all did a nice job." She didn't say anything special to me. I suppose she was sorry that she hadn't asked me to be Peter Rabbit after all. Our parents all came into the kindergarten room to take us home. "Well, Tommy," my mom said, "that was quite a performance." I smiled a big smile. "I think you owe Johnny Gregory and Miss Emick an apology. It wasn't very nice of you to take all the attention. After all, you were just one of the bunnies, not the star. So tomorrow, you'll say you're sorry to Johnny and Miss Emick. Okay?" I looked down at the floor and nodded. Jeannie came over to say hello. "Jeannie," Mom said, "you were perfect. Congratulations." "Tommy showed me how to do it," Jeannie said. "He should have been Peter." The next day at school, I said I was sorry to Miss Emick and Johnny Gregory. I did it when no one else could hear me, though. I guess I was only a little sorry. And our next part of the story will be Chapter 6. And I will see you again in this book.